Keeping yourself outside the opportunity continues to hurt you. Welcome back to Book 5, the channel that helps you live a more holistic life. This is your man Jay, and today we are going to talk about keeping yourself outside of the opportunity and how it's hurting you. Okay, now I got this idea for the topic that we're speaking of today because after doing a little bit of research and watching videos, things like that, I came across a graphic which displayed the median income for households in the U.S. By ethnic group. And to not so much my surprise, African Americans, so-called African Americans, were down at the lowest rung of this chart. Here, I'll put this chart up for you right now. As you can see, you have, you know, many people on here: Indian Americans, Chinese Americans, Korean Americans, etc., etc. Right? But when you go all the way down, there are the so-called African Americans at $35,000. Okay, many of these people on this chart, many of these groups on this chart, they have come here in recent years, the last 20 years, 30 years, some 15 years, 10 years. So the question has to be, okay, why are we being outpaced at such a phenomenal rate? And then when you get down to, between men and women and the so-called African American and so-called Latino communities, right? Then you have another dynamic to break down. But really, it's really affecting men and women to a degree where speaking about those minute differences is irrelevant. And one of the things that is contributing to this is not developing skills early on. Okay, I spoke about this in a video prior to, but not developing skills early on. Okay, Jay, what do you mean? All right, young man, young woman, right? You're out here, you're 18, you're 24, you're 25, you're 30. You've been working these jobs, okay, where they are not investing in your skills, okay? You're working these jobs that are not investing in your skills. Let's just take, for instance, Walmart, okay? And this is not a knock on Walmart or anybody who works at Walmart, right? But let's just say you're working at Walmart, okay? You work at Walmart, you're getting paid $18 an hour, $16 an hour, whatever they pay. You're working there for 40 hours a week, okay? Over a course of 3 years. Okay, when now you're at Walmart, you are developing some skills, customer service skills. If you are applying, your head to things, you could be getting into logistics, things like that. But for the most part, most people are going there and they're not acquiring any grand skills that they can leverage later on after the third year. Okay, so after your third year at Walmart, the skills that you bring to the table to the managers to say, hey, I need a raise or I want a raise, right? These skills that I've learned since I've been here demands a raise. That is very, far and few between that happens. Now, let's just take the contrast, right? You start a job, let's just say as an electrician or a plumber, okay? Uh, another industry where you don't need a college education, okay? And these are just examples. You could be a plumber and you get paid $18 as a plumber. Hell, you might even get paid $15 as a plumber. So you're getting less than you would be getting paid at Walmart, okay? And you work in that over a course of 3 years. Now, here's the difference. Over that course of 3 years, you start to develop skills that make you knowledgeable in an in-demand trade, right? You move from a entry level apprentice to a journeyman, or well, it'll take you a little bit longer to get to master level in plumbing, right? So now you have skills and knowledge that you can take to the marketplace and leverage, right, for a better income. Now, the person who worked at Walmart, and the person who worked in an industry that's going to get you skills, whether that's tech or um, blue collar labor, they now, in the same amount of time, not only have made roughly the same amount of money in that 3 years, they also have gained skills. So on that fourth year, it they level up, right? They level up in income. And far too many times in the African American, Latino communities, you see people spending a lot of time at jobs that are not developing any skills for the workers, right? They're menial task jobs. And that's going to keep you in a certain bracket because you just never have the leverage to level up. Um, also with that is um many people are unwilling to further their education, or they just don't have the means or whatever, but that goes into developing the right skills to leverage. Okay, so just thinking outside the box a little bit, or even within the box, and just looking at some of those things that you can do to start gaining more skills would actually help these numbers out a lot. Because there's no reason to continuously stay on the bottom of the totem pole, right? So yeah, you got that. The next thing I would say is um the unwillingness to pay the entry fee, right? You keep yourself outside opportunities because you are unwilling to pay the entry fee. Oh, okay. What do you mean by unwilling to pay the entry fee, right? Okay, so here you are. Uh you want to acquire one of these skills, okay? But you say to yourself, well, it's going to cost me $10,000 to go to this school. If I go to this school, I'm not going to be able to work and I'm going to lose X amount of money. So you look at it in terms of I'm not paying for that, right? I'm not going to take that pay cut to go and acquire this skill. Well, by doing that, what you do is you cut yourself off from the opportunity, right? You are unwilling to pay the entry fee to get the necessary skill to leverage in the market, right? And then outside of skills, what we tend to do is, you know, and then we just bring it on a on a more calm level. You go to a club, okay? You go to one of the hottest clubs in your city, all the hottest clubs, one of the hottest clubs in your city. It has the most influential people there in your city, right? Or some of the most influential people. You get to the door and they like, oh, it's $50 to get in. It's $100 to get in. You like, what? I'm not paying $100 or $50 to get in this club. I can go to the club down the street and get in for $10 for free, whatever. Okay, so in this analogy, what we missing is that the the $50 or the $100 is not for the club, is not necessarily for what the club is going to provide. It's because you will be in the same room as some of the most influential people in your city. And one conversation, the right conversation with one of these people, right, could be worth way more than your $50 entry fee. Okay. And that's the same as with a gala or some political dinner that they might be having in your area, and you'll say, I'm not paying $250 for a plate of food, right? I'm not doing that. But you're not paying the $250 for the plate of food. You're paying the $250 because you're now in a room with people who can afford to pay $250 for a plate of food, right? So we just look at things from um, a a a perspective that literally keeps us away from the opportunities, right? So one, we don't early on we don't build the skills that we need to leverage, and number two, we are unwilling to pay the entry fee, right, to have access to the opportunities. When I look when I look around and I see guys at the golf course, right? They say a lot of business goes on at the golf course. To join a country club of any substantial influence or level, it costs a lot of money. It's not a better golf course than any other golf course, really. They're gonna have the same 18 holes or whatever, right? But it's the people that's there, right? They know that they can get there and make business dealings and things like that. So they pay the fee, right? Along with some other amenities, of course. So try not to look at price all the time. Okay, stop. Don't try not to look at price and see, exactly by not paying the price, what is this going to cost you in the long run? Okay, will this or will this not help me move forward? And a lot of times you're not going to know unless you go. All right. Um. Oh, okay. And the last thing I'm going to touch on today, because I don't want to make this video super long, is the unwillingness to modify your behavior. Okay, the unwillingness to modify the behavior is keeping you outside of the opportunity. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Now, you like to dress a certain way. Okay, cool. You speak a certain way. Okay, cool. All right. Your behavior is a certain way. All right. So the way you communicate and the way you dress, okay, and the way you behave is a certain way, and that's what you're used to. Well, some opportunities demand that you change that. Some places you go demand that you change your communication style, that you change your behavior style, that you, actually change your appearance, okay, in order to take advantage of the opportunities. And a lot of times, many of us are unwilling to do that. Okay, why should I have to speak like this? Why should I have to dress like this? Why can't I be me? Why, you get into this rabbit hole of a thing. Why is because in this particular realm, industry, field, etc., you cannot behave like that and be successful. So, if you want to level up, a lot of times the level above you is going to require you to change some of your communication, your behavior, and your appearance. And the more levels you go up, the more you're going to have to modify that. Okay, and the unwillingness to modify that is going to keep you being outpaced by your counterparts, whether that's your counterpart as in sex, as or your counterpart as in nationalities and ethnic groups. Okay, it's really a shame, to see that Latinos and blacks are down here on this level, because it's not that we are not capable. It's not that we are not intelligent. It's not that we don't have the desire. It's literally our lifestyle and the way that we have been raised and trained to be. We keep ourselves outside of the opportunities, and we are doing it subconsciously, right? So this video is to help you consciously identify, wait, where's the opportunities that I missed? Why did I miss these particular opportunities? Right. So now, how can I put myself in a position not to, miss the next opportunities that come along my way? Right. Um, and then there's a few other factors. Of course, I made videos on it. The lottery mentality is one of them. So check out that video. If you get a chance, and it's just some of these things that we can correct and that we can improve on, if we really want to, and it will change these numbers almost instantly. It'll change these numbers. $35,000 a year is you either on the poverty line or you might be below it at that point. I don't have the statistics, but it's not a lot of money in today's society. Our topic today was brought to you by Ecclesiasticus, which is Sirach, in the Apocrypha, chapter 14 and verse 14. Okay, don't defraud yourself. Okay, there are things out there that you can do to better your situation, and then as we individually better our individual situations, our collective situation gets a lot better. Okay? So, thanks for joining us on Book 5, the channel that helps you live a more holistic life. This is your man, Jay, and I'll catch you next time in the book club.